gonna try to record this and hope nobody calls, but y'all know who it is. Y'all know what it is, man. We back in Houston, bro, and I got a vlog I'm working on. It's gonna be like a week, a day in the life for Jordann in, Houston, but I wanted to make this vlog, officially coming back off a tour, bro. This for everybody, who really on their music stuff. This just a kind of informative vlog, bro. I kind of wanted to talk about, the truths of everything, bro. A lot of people always ask me about what is touring like, being in a recording academy and stuff like that. And I dropped a video on the recording academy when I was over there in Amsterdam a few days ago. But I wanted to really just drop this as a whole, like, overview of what it's like, to be like, to truly be an independent musician, And it's like, I'm not going to go too deep on the politics of, like, anything, but I'm going to just put, like, an overview, like a general overcast, like, and just, my opinion. Not really, it's my opinions, but it's just, like, the facts of it, It's like, my opinions don't matter, but it's just the truth of what it is. We back in Houston. I love this hat, bro. I've been wearing this motherfucker strong, bro. But, so, honestly, being an independent musician, I'm gonna put it to you like this. Like, the number one thing what people don't understand about music in this music industry, even if you're an independent artist, like, it's a business, bro. At the end of the day, if you want to be a musician, you can do it for fun, and that's always cool. That works. Anybody can do it. Anything you can do, anything is a hobby, bro. People out here cannot drive. That's what I do not miss about Houston, bro. Music, the industry is a business, bro, and people treat it as a hobby. People still jump in the game, be like, I want to be an artist, rather whatever industry you in, whatever genre you in. I'm sorry, people jump in and be like, I want to be a rapper. I want to do this. I'm gonna make a song and make a music video and blow up. Like, bro, it's way more to it than that. Like, I'm not really gonna go crazy into specifics because I'll do like a whole series, and I've dropped a lot of information on like BTS stuff and like how the industry works. But it's like I'll go farther in depth. But this just is a whole, like, I want people to truly understand that it's like, this life really take a lot of hard work, bro. Like, it's one of those things, like, you gotta really eat, sleep, and breathe this. And it's like me having multiple businesses. I already everything I do kind of ties back into the music, how it all works between me, marketing and networking between all my companies. It all goes back towards the music. But it's like, you got to make sure you truly understand what you get into when you in this music stuff. You spend a lot of money. You're basically contracting a lot of people to help you. You got, whether you're in the studio, you got studio work to do. That's producers, that's engineers, mixing engineers, mastering engineers. Then you got your camera people, your production team, that's money. You got your people who do your graphics. And it's ways to, like, minimize spending and doing things. But it's like, as a whole, bro, as an artist, as a musician, you're a business, bro. Especially until you really get signed. And getting signed, that's a whole different issue. That's not an issue, but it's a whole different politic, whole different situation. Like, then it's a different way you got to even go about you dealing with your money. But it's like, as an independent artist, you got to account for everything, bro. Your marketing, you got to account for everything, bro. That's truly how you become successful, bro. And people kind of think it's an easy ride and you don't got to do too much. It's like, if you're not controlling everything, if you're not pushing the narrative, nobody around you is going to work harder than you. So it's like, if you're not the main person on your team pushing everybody, to get things done, deadlines, places to be, events, stuff like that, like, you're not going to ever progress, bro. So knowing that is one of them things, like, bro, the music industry is literally just about knowing what you want and what you want out of it, bro. Like, some people want to be famous. There's a lot of ways to make money doing music, not being famous. You got like sync licensing and stuff like that. But it's like, it's crazy, on the other side of being famous, you hear all this stuff about, the conspiracies and this and that, and it's like, bro, that's to each his own, bro. Like, do your own research, you find out what you want to know. You believe in whatever you want to believe in, but it's like, do what makes sense for you. It takes a lot of money to make things happen, like a tour. Like I said, I don't want to drop specifics, but I'm gonna be real. Like, I was on a 5-month tour run, well over $25,000, and that's all my own money, just dropping it in, like paying for travel, events, venues, stuff like that. Like, it costs a lot of money, bro. And it's like, you don't see a lot of money back I'm not even gonna say on the front end or the back end. You don't see that money back, honestly, a lot later, unless you're truly selling out every venue, unless you're selling a lot of merch, So knowing that, and a big secret to the game is like, forget streams, bro. I'm gonna be real. I learned this from an A&R, and shout out to her. I ain't gonna say her name, but bro, focus on your merch sales. Everything is all about your merchandise, bro. Everything is about how much merch you can sell. Everybody's manipulating the streams and running ads and stuff like that, so nobody knows who's really streaming the most, because it's all advertisement and marketing. But it's like, at the end of the day, what matters is how much money you making, and the fastest way to make money off this music right now is merchandise from your fans, bro. So shout out to everybody that's buying merch for show, but it's like, definitely materialize your fan base. And I say materialize, like, don't make them, like monetize your fan base. That's what I'm trying to say. I was thinking the wrong word. Blah, 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 blah. I'm tired still. It's been a crazy week. But like literally, you know what I'm saying, utilize everything around you, utilize all your resources. It's 1,000,001 websites to make a lot of stuff work with this music stuff. Like I said, I'm not really finna go into politics of music. I'm just talking about as a whole, like the true realness of being, like an independent artist, and like being a tourist, being a touring artist is not slight, bro. Like, you gotta definitely have good people around you. You gotta have good people around you, bro. You gotta have a solid team, bro. Y'all gotta be ready to do whatever it takes, man. And that's just the touring side. You get back into the politics of the music, you just make sure you got all your masters in your publishing and everything. Yo, y'all can't drive. Make sure you got all your masters in publishing and stuff like that, all situated. So it's just so much that really goes into it. But at the end of the day, like I said, the most important thing is you definitely want to do your research on everything you want to do. Because once you do, once you step into a lane, that's like people step into basketball and just be like, I want to hoop. Like, bro, it takes a lot of hours in the gym before you get into that. Before you get to making money with music, you got to understand the outlets and the paths of how people like make music, bro. You know what I'm saying? How the legal side of it works. Like, I have lawyers, but I don't have a specifically tied lawyer for my entertainment stuff, but I have lawyers on my team, and it's like, people say get a lawyer. You don't need a lawyer up front, unless you just signing contracts and doing crazy stuff. But it's like, if you're building everything on your own, you don't really need a lawyer. But, when it comes to your music, make sure you getting all your contracts from your producers. Make sure you own all the stuff that you do. Don't be leasing stuff, bro. It costs a little bit more money to not lease unless you're making your own beats. But don't be out here leasing beats, bro. Don't do that. It's good to be back in Houston, y'all. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. Like, tour life is amazing, but I'm glad to be back. We're gonna do like I said, a week and a day in the life of me. It's crazy, bro. Y'all can see what we do day to day. Got a lot of vlogs, bro. We're gonna be doing a lot, like the stuff for the company, for the jewelry companies, for the brands. Yeah, I'm getting off. We passing West Timer right now, baby. We grinding. We got moves to make, shakes to bake. But yeah, I just wanted to definitely jump on, drop something new for y'all, for all the artists that really want to see the truth behind this music stuff, bro. Like, it's all about politicking, though, bro. It's all about mapping out what you want, knowing what you want, and budgeting. And that's really what it comes down to, bro. When you budget everything, you map everything out, you put your goals in at the end. Like I said, it's not about the Grammys. It's not about being famous, bro. It's literally about doing what works for you. And at the end of the day, most people want to make a little bit of money off their music. So if you do, like I said, make sure you do your research. You understand how it is you can make money off your music. Like I say, definitely the easiest way that I'm realizing nowadays, and just being in the game since, I was in choir when I was 5, bro. So I've been recording since I was like 14. I rapped for the longest time, and now I'm really just pushing all this rock. But it's like, what I'm realizing the biggest return on your music is definitely doing live shows that you control, and merchandise, bro. Make your money. You doing all this to make money. Your people around you, they're gonna support you, bro. That's the biggest thing. You got your people that support you. Like, shout out to them, shout out to y'all. So make sure you monetizing what you do. You putting all this effort up. It's nothing for, people to support you and rock with you, buy a $10, $15, $20 shirt. Like, that really means a lot, and it makes a world of difference when you got 100 people sending you $20 for a shirt. Like, it's real in the field, man. So shout out to everybody supporting the brands, bro. Rocking with us the long way. We got a lot to do. We got a lot coming, bro. Let me know what y'all want me to make videos about, bro. If y'all leave comments, let me know what y'all want me to talk about, bro. We're going to go down everything, though. We're going to be talking about crypto. We're going to be talking about a little bit of everything, investments, wealth management, just a little bit of everything. But shout out to the people, man. Shout out to y'all. We back in Houston for right now, so we're going to be doing a lot of dope stuff, man. I'm going to get my whole back tatted probably this summer, too. I'm going to vlog that shit. It's going to be fire. Get my whole back done. Shout out to my boy Gage. Shout out to my boy Gage, man. Shout out to all the homies who, like I said, support and buy shirts, who buy merch, bro. I love y'all to death, bro. Who listen to my music, bro. It's a lot of y'all, bro. I really, really appreciate that. Like, from the bottom of my heart, I be in the studio really pouring my heart in that shit, bro. And I'm gonna keep doing it. And we got so much new music, skirts, to keep doing. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all. New music coming, vlogs is coming consistently. I ain't stopping these. I see y'all love these. And I low-key love recording these. Feel like it's my TV show, so I love y'all. Hope y'all learned something. Let me know if y'all want me to drop some information or anything. I'll drop my email below, business@jordanndworldwide.com. I do consultations for anything, pretty much. I need help with business, credit, anything, music, whatever. Get at me. I'm not free. I'm not cheap either. But I help people when we all come up together. So hit me if you need me. A lot of motion, a lot of movement. We in Houston, Texas, baby. We back, man. Let's get to this money. Let's go.